everyone, this week as usual. Welcome back to Chart Week here on Mad Money. Every night we're checking in with some of our favorite technical analysts who join us live to help us interpret the charts. Tonight we're going to Carolyn Boroden. She's the brilliant technician who runs a trading room at ElliottWadeTrader.net. Also teaches her methodology at im.academy. You can also find her on Twitter, X, at Queen of Fibs, and this is a fantastic book by her, okay? So if you want to know more about the kind of thinking that she does. Now, for those who don't remember, Broden's a big believer in Fibonacci time and price cycles. She then looks at past swings, then runs them through the prism of Fibonacci ratios to identify key price levels or key dates where securities are more likely to change course. I'm always surprised at how well it works, and boy, does it ever work. Tonight, we're going to hear about one of her favorite setups. It's called the Royal Setup, and this is going to really help you understand how she thinks so that you can be doing a lot of this at home. Carolyn, it is so great. It's been way too long. Welcome back to Mad Money.
Thank you so much.
You're such a pro. I'm just going to give you the chart week. Go right to work.
Okay. All right. Well, I am going to talk about the Royal Setup, but before I go into that, I do want to remind everybody about the Fibonacci price clusters, which is another great setup. This is an example in Bitcoin. This is a daily chart. This is basically where I had multiple price relationships. We had a low to high, 618 retracement, another low to high, 618 extension, and then also a 100% projection of a prior high to low swing projected from another high. Okay, they were very similar because this swing was 59.88, this swing was 59.50. Now, besides that, we also had some timing. Okay, a simple timing, but time symmetry because this high to low was 16 bars down, and so was this high to low, 16 bars down.
So that's what we're looking for, similar patterns which then trigger for you.
Right, time and price coming together.
Both.
Yeah, in this case, we had a price cluster that came in at 18,987 to 19,261, okay, from those three price relationships. It hit, it held, it triggered, and it rallied over $11,000 within the next month.
Okay, so there you can see both time and price using our work, major home run in Bitcoin. Next.
Yeah, next. Okay, so this is a daily chart of JP Morgan, and this is an example of what I call a Royal Setup. So a Royal Setup basically has all the daily moving averages on the right side. So for example, it has price above the 200 simple moving average, price above the 50 simple moving average, and then I also use a 513 EMA combo. And with the 5 being above the 13, that is also bullish. So basically, when we see that, what we look for is either a symmetrical pullback or price cluster. And in this case, we ended up having a couple of levels between 141.08 to 141.39. It hit the zone, it held the zone, and again, we waited for buy triggers, but we ended up seeing a nice, healthy rally.
That was a terrific call. Now, you also saw an example of a Royal Setup in the price of a company that's about to report this week. This is Amazon, but it's historical, so help us here.
Okay, so again, take a look at where we are relative to the moving averages when you hit the actual zone. What I ended up seeing was a cluster that came from a symmetry projection of prior swings. We also had an extension, 1618 extension, and a retracement, and I think one more projection. The cluster came in at 124.92 to 125.08. It hit, it held, again, it triggered.
But again, Carolyn, just so you know, this is not a suggestion that you should buy Amazon ahead of this quarter or anything like that.
No.
This is historical.
These are, past examples to understand how to look at it in the future.
Okay, well, why don't we have another daily chart band on, shows you what you're looking for in terms of buy triggers. That could help us.
Well, actually, in this case, what I wanted to show that there was also timing at the same time that we hit that key price area. And one of the things that I look at, again, I look at symmetry, but symmetry in time. So notice that a lot of these prior declines were 3 to 5 trading days. So that was included in the timing, besides 3 other cycles that came together between the 10th through the 11th. And I believe the actual low was made on the 10th. And again, nice rally up in that area.
Incredible. And now to broaden things out, this doesn't apply to just stocks. Averages have been doing well too. By the way, we had a chart of the Spider S&P 500 ETF that you spotted a Royal Setup in. Can you explain that to us?
Okay, so same thing. I love the fact that we're above the 200 simple moving average.
So do you start with that though? Is that how you begin?
Yeah, I mean, you can look at all of the charts that have, you know, the averages in the right place, and then you look for a pullback, and you'll probably have a royal setup.
So you have these, they're so similar.
Yeah.
And we don't know why. Again, we don't know why, but they are similar.
They just tend to be. You'll see it on many charts.
And how often do you want to see, I mean, if you only saw 3 of these, would it mean that you don't want to go there?
Yeah, if I only see one of them, it's still good as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it works that way. So,
and in general, I mean, and what are the other ones, these that are just intriguing now that we should all be looking at, do you think are, you know, because what I do is I usually send her an email saying, what are you looking at, what are you talking about?
Well, actually, some of the markets that are still in the position for royal setups would be like Apple, Nvidia, Amazon, and I think Google.
Really?
So there's still quite a few. So I just keep on setting up the pullbacks until it doesn't work anymore.
Well, look, I love what you do. The book is Fibonacci Trading if you want to understand it better. We've been together for many, many years, and you have been, let's say, here's the way I always like to put it, far more right than wrong. She's a language expert. Carolyn, thank you so much for coming back to Mad Money. Stick with Cramer.